We are live. What's going on, everybody? Well, we made a trip, went and got the boat yesterday. It worked out pretty good. We tried to do a live on the way over there, but we were losing internet, so it was kind of bugging out. We only got like 20-30 minutes of a live, but we thought we'd just try it out while we're on our way over there. We'll wait around a little bit, wait for some people to pop into the room. Man, I'm really happy with the boat, though. We met the lady, you know, when I was talking on the live, I said the guy. I kept saying the guy because I didn't know who I was dealing with. But it was a lady, really nice lady. Her name was Florencia, and she was really helpful when we went over there to get the boat. And a real gearhead. She knew a lot about automotive. I was really impressed by her. She actually joined our group and left a message. She left a comment on there. And but today, I'm going to get out there and start messing with that 40 horse and see if we can get it running. I'm pretty confident we'll make it run. We just got to get out there and figure out the ignition system on it and get some fuel in it, see what kind of condition the carburetor's in, and we'll see how that goes. Well, we went over there, and I was looking online. It looked pretty clean, and I wasn't sure what to expect. But we got over there, and the boat was in like really nice shape. But I was a little shocked. It had a 40 horse on it. You don't normally see those with a 40 horse on them. So ELGIN was built by Sears. And so I did a bunch of research. When I went over there, I was thinking, man, it'd be nice if it had a 20 on it or something, because a lot of them only have like a little 7.5 or a 10. Not too many have a full size motor, a good size motor on it. So I went over there, and man, when I seen it, I was stoked. It's got a 40 on it. This thing's only 13 feet long, and it is super light. It's only like 4.5 feet wide. And it is just a time machine. All the fiberglass is in really good condition. For those of you that are coming in, if you would just drop something in the comments where you're from, or say hello or something. My name's Go Big. I usually talk about all automotive and have little projects going. I do a lot of the lives early in the morning, just kind of have coffee and shoot the bull with gearheads and people talking about their hot rods or their motorcycles. And then on Friday nights, this coming Friday night, you guys show up because we're going to have a tool giveaway. We're giving away a snap-on tool at the end. So we do trivia on Friday night. And then if you get a question right, you get to spin the wheel. And then at the end, everybody that got a question right gets to spin for a tool. So Friday nights at 7, and Monday nights, we're going to see how this is going to go. I'm thinking about doing Motorcycle Mondays where we just talk nothing but about motorcycles. And this coming Monday coming up, I think I'm going to do a whole live just about the history of Harley Davidson, when they started, and go all the way from, the early days up until the knucklehead, the shovel head, the pan head, all the way up until the twin cam and the M8 and all that, and just talk a little bit about each motor and the history of Harley Davidson. So we'll do that on Monday. Yeah, bye, dude. That's what's nice about this software. I can just get rid of people like this. It's real simple. It's great. Yeah, I'm sure you don't say that when you see one on the road. But anyway, we got some usuals that'll show up here shortly. I'm sure we get a little riffraff in here. They're kind of funny guys. I enjoyed talking with them. But we went over there and got a smoking deal on this boat. Let me see if I can pull up I was going to put a picture up for you guys that haven't been here. Anyway, it's a really nice looking little 13. Let's get some. Yeah. We'll let you go on that comment. We'll see if you get to stay in here or not. B-twin breed. V-twin breed. Where are you from? I just moved all my bikes in out of the weather yesterday. It's starting to rain here pretty good. But so probably tonight or today, I'm gonna go out there and start working on that 40 horse home of the corn and meth. Yeah, I don't know. Indiana. I don't think I ever been to Indiana. Not that I wouldn't go, I just never went that way before. We'll wait and get some more people in. We get some people here from all over the world. Australia, got a guy from India that comes pretty often. We get some people from Africa, Netherlands, all over the world. Usually not this time in the morning though. Usually when we do the really late night lives. But anyway, I got 2 projects coming up for the lives. I'm going to tear down that 212cc Predator motor that I have. And matter of fact, I made a good deal. So, yeah, for sure, huh? Hey, Maggot, how you doing? I was just talking you up, man. Telling him my boy from Australia is coming, I'm sure. Hey, we made it over there, made it back. No issues. I did a little work on the lights to get us home, but had a strap on there on the way home. Some guy starts flashing his lights at me, and I pulled over, and a strap had come out the back and was doing one of these in traffic, so I had to pull over and fix that. But for the most part, pretty event-free trip over there and back. Got it for $500. Couldn't talk her down anymore. The lady was super nice. She actually subscribed here. She left a comment on one of our lives, so she'll probably be back. She was a gearhead. I was surprised. She really impressed me, man. She was talking about camshafts, and she's getting her truck. You know, she's getting some work done to her truck, and she had another boat up in the driveway that she had all her power tools out. And I mean, she was a gearhead, man. Totally, she was on it. I was really impressed by her. Anyway, maybe she'll hang out with us here once in a while. Really nice lady though. Truck driver and like a wrencher and like, man, just really, you know, had some skills. You could tell she had some skills. And she bought that little motor that little boat that she sold me and was going to do some bunch of work on it. And then she got another boat and she just lost interest because she had the other boat going. So she gave us a really good deal on her. Yeah, the same from Harbor Freight. Yeah, V-twin, exactly. The one I got didn't come from Harbor Freight, but they come from Harbor Freight. You can get them on Amazon too. They're a decent little motor, man. I was kind of impressed by them. So what I'm going to do on the 212, I decided I'm going to see if I can find like a budget-friendly build where we can get exhaust, newer springs, a piston, a rod, a decent flywheel, and see if we can put the whole build together for like, you know, $150. We'll see. But I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do a video on it, and I'll do a live as well. You know, today I'm gonna get out there and work on that motor a little bit. That's why I'm like, I'm not up real. Just saw a video guy that put one in a Ranger. Really, in a Ranger? Like you talking about a Ranger little, like a little side by side? I thought about getting 2 of them and building a dual motor, like straight shaft, little puddle jumper, little flat bottom boat, man. I thought that'd be cool. Anyway, I got a good deal going. So what happened was I made a trade with a Harley that I sold, and this guy traded me this little pocket bike, and it has a 212 on it, and it's too much of a motor for what I'm going to do with the mini bike. So I wanted to pull that 212 out, and I'm going to try to pump it up and put it in a go-kart. And anyways, miles per hour, not miles per gallon. Yeah, I know for sure. Ford Ranger, really I was wondering, a Ranger pickup, really? I wonder how that went. That seems like way underpowered, but maybe you could do it. I've seen them pumped up to around 30 horsepower. But, you know, if you put two side by side, man, that's 60 horsepower. You know, I remember there, you know, there's some smaller little cars that don't have that much horsepower to them. But anyway, I'm gonna the guy that I sold my Road King to that traded me for the pocket bike, he got a hold of me and he's looking for the original exhaust, which I have. So I told him, hey, let's do some trading. What do you got to trade? And he told me he had this mini bike frame. And I said, bring it. That's perfect, man. I'll trade you that exhaust for the mini bike frame. And that gives me a frame now to put that 212 in and build a little mini bike with. Catamaran, little sailboat. I got some really near-death sailing stories. Yeah, sailing's different, that's for sure. I had a friend that took a bunch of our buddies of mine out on his sailboat one time, and they were out there and they had what they call a wind shear come through. It's when you just get a big old gust of wind all at once. And they were out on the lake, but the lake where I live, man, it can be like the China Sea out there in the middle sometimes. You know, if the weather turns bad on you, you know, the weather can get kind of scary. And they were out there and that wind shear came and they were already like freaking out because of the weather. Let's under the jetty. Oh, holy crap, man. Yeah, that's a scary situation. I had a 4 or 5 speed trans up to it. I'd rather put a shovel head motor in a rat rod. Yeah, you know what? I was thinking about that with a little Volkswagen, get an Evo motor and put it in a Volkswagen Beetle. I think that'd be cool. For sure. I like doing it. I like those little kind of projects like that. But anyway, they were out there and man, that wind hit and he said the freaking boat went all the way down and the sail touched the water. That's how far it went over. And he said the guys he had with him, they were freaking out. They're going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And he turned around to the one guy and said, if you say that one more time, I'm going to throw you in the water. Do what I tell you. Grab that rope, pull that down. And I've never been much no motor couldn't stop. Yeah, that's the thing with sailboats. But you know, the cool thing about sailboats, like I was looking about 10 years ago, I was really looking into getting me like a boat that I could like really go out on the ocean in. And I was looking for like a, I forget what they call them, but they're like the old style, I don't know what they call them now, like the Grand Banks. They got two cylinder, 2 engines. They're diesels, two dual engine diesel motors on them. And high rises, wind shears, yeah. 20 years. Don't think I could ever stand the thought of getting on a boat. Really? Yeah. I just went on a cruise, man. I was impressed by it. I didn't think I'd ever do that. I did, man. I was like, this is sweet. You got cold beverages everywhere you go, and it was a good time. We was there for 7 days. Hey Sandra, how you doing? Just shooting a bull a little bit this morning. I don't know if you were aware, we went over and got this a 63 I always forget the first name of it. It's an ELGIN, 63 ELGIN fiberglass boat. We went over there and made the deal with the lady yesterday. It was in great shape. So I got it back to the house. I got to work on the motor today, see if I can get it running. There's too many dumb small boat pilots. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. That little boat I got, man, it just fits the bill for what I wanted. Because I wanted a small little pleasure boat, but I was kind of wanting something that we can get across the lake, you know, not a speedboat style boat, but something that, you know, that has something bigger than like a 7-horse on it. So I went over there and she never said what size motor was on it. So when I got over there, I was thinking, man, it'd be nice if it had a 20 on it, you know, or something. And I went over there and it had a 40 on it. And then I looked around, I could not find an ELGIN 40-horse twin. I don't even know how many of these they made because I couldn't find any information on them. They talk about 30, but the transom rate is rated at 44 horsepower, and it's got a 40 on it. And man, that thing with a 40 on it, it's gonna fly across the water. It don't weigh nothing. You know, it's 13 feet long and about 4.5 feet wide. There's nothing but fiberglass on it. It's super light. It's gonna be a rocket ship, man. We'll see. Anyway, I got that going on today. I'm gonna get out there because I can't wait. As soon as the sun, well, the sun's coming up now. As soon as it's light enough to go out there and start wrenching. No, but I got a big old huge, like 55-gallon tank thing I'm gonna put under it. First, what I'm gonna do is just pull the plugs. First thing I'm gonna do is pull the plugs out and just get some oil down in there because I'm sure it's been sitting a while. So I think I'll just turn it by hand and get some oil in the pistons. And there's a bunch of little things I noticed that need some attention. Like there's 2 different spark plugs in it. The wires look iffy. Some of the wiring doesn't look quite right. So I got a little bit of work to do to it, but I'm just going to crank it over and see if it's got compression, see if it has spark, and then I'll go from there. Drum. Yeah, I got a big Rubbermaid, like 55-gallon rubber drum I'm going to put on there and fill it with water. I learned that the hard way. I burned up a motor one time because I didn't know about that. It actually just ate the impeller off the water pump. I had to tear it all down and redo it. That's something you don't want to do. You know, you see people firing up their motors, you know, at the dock, you know, when they come out of the water. You shouldn't do that. There's a little rubber impeller in there for the water pump. And I watched a video of a guy, and he did he had a shop that he did maintenance on boats. And what he did, he took a brand new impeller and he took it apart and put it in there, and they fired it up dry. And I'm talking only like 20 seconds. And then he pulled it out and showed you what it does. And man, it just eats that thing. It eats that impeller in like no time. I mean, it just ate the thing. It was about half the diameter in about 20 seconds. Yep. Yeah, they have like a rubber. Yeah, I'm aware of that. But we'll see what this thing does. Right now, I just want to see. My plan is I'm going to see if I can make it run. So I'll see if it's got spark and compression. And then more than likely, the carburetor is all gummed up and stuff. So if it has spark and compression, I'm going to see if I can get it running. If it turns into a nightmare, like it's becoming a big project, I'm just going to jerk it off or take it off. Got to watch how I say that on here. There's some guys that take that the wrong way. I'm going to take it off, and then I'm going to go see if I can find a newer, updated motor for it, because it's such a sweet looking little boat. I don't want to spend all my time wrenching on the motor if it's not going to run. But those older motors usually they're pretty bulletproof. You know, if it runs good, it'll stay on there. If it don't, it's going. I'll give me a little, I'll look around and wait and see. Somebody was telling me, I forget who said it. There's, when we was on the live, they said that they make like a replica of the Yamaha now. That's like $1,000 brand new. So I'd be willing to do that. Don't want no vintage Johnsons. No, I had a 35 horse Johnson. I'll tell you a story about that, man. I got so frustrated with that thing. I had a little 5-horse kicker on the boat, and I had that 35 Johnson. Man, that thing was such a pile. I got so pissed at it. I undid it and pushed it off the boat. Said, I am never going to work on that thing again. I sink to the bottom of the lake. I shouldn't have done that, but I was younger and didn't know any better. The thing was the biggest pile. I had these big metal covers you had to open up like that. I tell you what I like is I like the Johnson Seahorses, like around the 5s. Those things are a really good motor. It hasn't got condensation issues. Yeah, I did notice though, maybe it's normal. It only has one condenser on the ignition, but maybe they got both coils tied in. I'm not sure. And it has this funny looking thing on the top. It's like big square, like 2 inches pieces of flat steel, with like one here and then an insulator and then an insulator, and it has wires going to it. So I'm thinking it must be some kind of a resistor of some kind. I don't know. I got to do some research and figure out what that is, because I don't even know what it is. So I'll have to do some research on that, but I'll figure it out. I like that kind of stuff that I've never seen before, and I got to figure out what it is. For the most part, it's pretty cut and dry. Just got a basic ignition system on it with coils, a point ignition underneath the flywheel, so it's got a set of points in there, a basic carburetor, and it's just a basic engine. That's what I try to promote, and I tell these people that are coming into the industry, the young men and guys that are just learning, is like, hey, once you learn the concepts of how an engine works, how ignition works, how the valves open and close and how the piston and all that, it doesn't matter what you're working on. You could be working on a boat, you can be working on a car, a truck, an airplane. All the concepts are the same. It's the same philosophy. So once you understand mechanics, it takes you down a road that you can work on all kinds of stuff. So anyway, that's my spiel on that. Maggie, you're about bedtime at your place, huh? It's about 6 p.m. Well, you probably go to bed pretty late. You know what day it is today? Or did your neighbor have to put the garbage can out? This guy's a character, man. If you guys haven't been around this guy, Maggie, we have to give him some kind of a title here at Go Big. The dude from down under. Yeah, we did a little live on the way over there, but we kept losing. And I was driving, and I was like, so I was just yakking away as I was driving. You know what I'm going to do, though? I heard it's Tuesday, nighttime. Yeah. Many normal Aussies. This guy's something, man. He keeps the lives kind of funny. He's a funny guy. Yeah. But I don't know. I got some what I found out, and I wish I could remember everybody that gives me good advice. I try to quote him. I got to go back and see what this guy's name was. But he told me, he said that there's a way when you're losing the video, you can just turn the camera off so the audio comes through clear. So I'll try that next time. And the other thing is, I think we're going to load a bunch of a lot of these lives that we've done as replayable podcasts, because I'm hearing quite a few people have said, that they listen to the podcast more than they watch it, or the lives. So that's cool. We'll start loading them like as a podcast as well. I think we're going to do, it's coming. Monday night is going to be Motorcycle Mondays, and then we'll do something midweek. And then Friday nights we'll do the trivia and tool giveaway. And I'll just keep doing these ones in the morning, just for the people that come all the time. We can sit around, shoot the breeze and whatever. Try to talk about automotive stuff so it keeps the YouTube happy. I got to get busy, man. I got to get a video done for this week. I'm trying to stay consistent with the videos, so we're dropping one a week. I think I'm going to do one this week about some old tools I have. It's kind of a neat concept I have. I'm gonna show a crescent wrench, a set of channel locks, and then this mystery wrench. And then people are gonna have to figure out what it is. Hey, no regrets. How you doing? I'll absolutely say hi to you. I'm going to study for Mondays. I might have to study. A lot of these guys are coming in and talking about stuff that I'm not aware of, so I got to do some ASMR for me. So, yeah, that ASMR is something, huh? That's a real thing. What I have, I thought about doing. Let's see if I got it. I think I got it right here. V-Twin. I'm just going to call you V-Twin. It's easier to remember. V-Twin breed. So I was going to do that. That ASMR is like sounds, huh? So I got this like old timer that I picked up at a yard sale for like $1. and it's all rusty. And I thought, I'm going to restore this thing and fix, see the blade right here where it's got a big old divot in it? I thought I would, let's see if you can see that. It's kind of hard to work the way the camera is. But anyway, it's kind of beat up looking and rusty and all that. But I thought about making a video of this, me restoring it, because that'll be pretty cool. What's a quarter? All right, see ya. No regrets. What's a quarter? Tetanus for a quarter. I'm not sure what that means. I don't understand you. Tetanus for a quarter. Anyway, that's one of those ideas I had in the back of my head, because I see people that can restore stuff that's old and rusty, and man, they get a crazy amount of views on them. Everything's about views when it comes to YouTube. That's why I try to keep the lives just kind of just be ourselves, man. We don't have to be nothing. We don't have to be fancy here on the lives, which is kind of nice. But we've got some pretty good traction on the lives. We don't have a lot of people in here now, but we get some pretty good traction on them. We've had a couple that got like 5,000. Oh, that's what I want to talk to you guys about. Hey, you see this link I put up right here? These are because I was thinking, what can I offer? I was thinking, oh, I got it for a quarter. What's a quarter? A quarter is like it's a coin in the US, and it's like a half of a dollar, and then cut the half a dollar in half. So a fourth of a dollar is a quarter, and it's a coin. Here, I got some right here. Maybe you're just joshing me, but I'll do this anyway. So they look like this. They're about an inch in diameter. They're a common currency in the United States, called a quarter. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, this thing. I was thinking this morning, man, what can I tell these guys that is good information or useful information? Winter's coming, and I'm sure where you're at, Maggot, it's already there, been there. Winter's coming, and I used to use these right here. They're called frog togs. And if you look in the description, I don't even know how to get to this description of these lives, to be honest with you. But in the description of the live is another link. And these right now, they're half price, man. They're usually $70, and I've used these, man. I remember one time I got stuck come across California, and we got stuck in this real bad rainstorm, and I had a set of these on the bike. I keep a set on the bike. I give you a quarter. And so we got stuck in the rain. I mean, it was coming down, and I stopped and put these frog togs on. And I drove for like 100 miles in the rain. And when I took them off, I was bone dry. I've never seen wet weather gear as good as these frog togs. And there's usually, like I said, I don't know why they're on sale right now, but I just was looking them up this morning, and they said half price. So they're normally $70, and they're $35 right now. So I might buy me a new set anyway, because I need a new set. Mine are just getting kind of dirty. But yeah, for sure. Yeah, they have a couple different like quality of frog togs. Like there's another link in the description of a really good set, but they're like $99. But they're more like for like outdoors. You know, they're camoed and they're heavier duty, and they got like Gore-Tex on them. So they have a couple different qualities of them. But these are a good deal, man. This one here is just the jacket, but it's a good one. For $35, man, you can't go wrong. And we get a little commission on all that stuff. I always tell everybody we make 5% on that stuff. That's how we keep the lights on. B-Twin, what do you ride? What kind of bike are you riding? Are you riding right now? Do you have a bike that you ride? Oh, Maggot, he's funny, man. You heard that song, Here's a Quarter, Call Someone Who Cares? When I was a kid, it was a dime to make a phone call. A Street Glide? Yeah, my buddy had one. I had a lot of buddies that had those. I got a 91 Electric Glide right now, and then I just bought a 80. It's a cool bike, man. I love these old relics, like that boat. That's the way it is. I love old stuff that you can bring back to the glory days. But I bought a 1984 first edition Evolution. Man, this thing is so sweet. Looks like you just pulled it off the showroom floor. And I gave hardly nothing for it, man. I paid $2,600 for that bike. And the paint is perfect. The chrome is amazing. Still has all the factory stuff on it. The only thing that's been changed is the carburetor. What else? It's got some exhaust on it. Hey, Kraft, thanks for saying that. What do you think of that? I was pretty stoked when I got over there. It looks pretty sweet. $500. I figure the trailer's worth 300 or 200 at least, 300. I'm figuring the trailer's worth $300. So between the trailer and that nice, it has a nice like shade thing on it too that you can unfold over top of it. And so I figure I'm not out no money at all other than my gas to go get it. But man, the glass is in perfect shape, man. It looks like, the boat looks like it's 5 years old. It really looks nice. Yeah. I tried to keep the live going as I was going over there, but we were in a really sketchy area where we couldn't get no internet. That's 5K Australian. You just wouldn't get a sports or not running here for that. That's crazy. It makes me think, Maggot, man, that we should be like trying to bring bikes over there and selling them. Vintage bikes are a whole mood of their own. These new bikes got power but can't stand Rushmore. Touchscreen crap. You know what? That's what turned me off, man. All the heated grips and touchscreen and USB bullshit. I was raised with my uncles, man. They used to build their bikes in the garage. A bunch of old, old 45 cubic inch, Harley flatheads and, all kinds of neat stuff. And now, yeah, I think so. I think that boat's worth $2,000 right now. I really do. And if I can get that little motor going, it's a sweet little boat, man. I don't think I'm going to get rid of it. That's a problem when you go out and try to make deals. You get them home and you're like, man, this thing's too nice. I think I'll just keep it. Then you end up with like 20 or 30 things that you just hang on to. So I don't know. This one's kind of like that red bike I got. I don't know what it is about red. Everything I buy red comes out great. But that I was just talking about that 84 Harley. I'll never sell that thing. You'd have to give me a lot of money to get that out from underneath me. Raw, no ABS, like just pure power, of course. Power steering, power brakes, essential performance. Yeah, I agree, man. I think a lot of people feel that way. More and more people are. Well, that's why you see all this stuff are just going up and up in pricing. Because they're becoming more popular. Hey, let me show you guys this cover. I brought the cover in because I wanted to put some wax on it, and I didn't want somebody to cart it off because I'll never find another one of these. Man, my back is toast today. Look at this, man. Check that out. Let's get it where you guys can see it. Look at the emblems on this thing, man. How cool is that? It's really good shape, man. And check this out. Man, this is how I used to build stuff. So nice. It has the wiring diagram, the original wiring diagram. So that's freaking cool as heck, isn't it? And man, this emblem got broke, it looks like. Maybe not. Oh, you know what? It looks like it was built that way because this is metal. This ain't plastic. Huh. It doesn't look. Yeah, it looks like that emblem's normal, man. See, I thought it was broke. I don't know if you guys can see it. I can't tell if I'm showing it to you or not. Let's see. Can you see that? Okay, there we go. I thought that emblem was broke, but I don't think it is. It just ends right there. That's kind of weird. Because Because when I'm looking at it, it looks, no, there's no edge on it like it broke or nothing. It's just the way they did it. And see, there's no, like if you look right here, I think I'm gonna get right here. If you look right here, there's no shadow of where it used to be. That's the normal way the emblem's supposed to look. That's kind of crazy. But when I got over there, man, I was thinking, when I seen it, because some of these older motors, you can't tell by the size of what they are. Because, man, some of those 7 or 10 horses, they'll look like a 25. They're so big when they were built back then, you know. So as I was walking up to it, I was thinking, oh, man, it might be a 15, you know. And then when I got up to it, I said, holy crap, that's a 40 horse. This thing's going to just, it's going to haul butt. In the 80s, yeah. We were just talking about that yesterday. They're too busy soaking rubber timing belts in oil. Yeah, V-Trend, I agree. You know, I was going to tell you, you know, I went into a Harley shop a year or so ago, and I knew the guy that was in there, and he knows me. And he comes in, he goes, man, you need to upgrade that old Electric Glide. And I said, why? I go, thing's got 115,000 miles and it'll drive to New York today, you know? And he says, well, he goes, man, look at, he goes, he says, you really need to look at the newer bikes. And I wasn't trying to be mean, but I kind of was. And I said, you know what? There ain't a bike in this shop I'd buy. He's like, why? I'm like, all this electronic bullshit crap, I can't work on it. I got to bring it to you and have some guy and pay him $200 an hour to hook up a scanner. I said, nope. I said, I'll never own one of these. I said, I don't need a touch screen. I just need a throttle and a brake. He thought I was a nuthead. The one guy that utilized heated gasoline for better, I was claimed, I think, 80 miles to the gallon. Really? Well, you know, I had a teacher that he used to claim a lot of that stuff. I tell you something that can help you a lot that people don't do, and you can just teach anyone to do this, and it'll really help your fuel mileage, is get a really good cold air intake coming in, you know, from the, instead of just having your air cleaner under the hood like this, bring a 4-inch tube up from the grill and bring some airflow in there. It makes a big difference. It makes me think of I got all kinds of stories of weird cars I worked on that I had, we had to figure out what was going on with them. But I worked about 30 miles from where I live, and I had this car, and it was a Suzu Trooper, and it had a little 4-cylinder in it. And the guy says, man, he goes, I've had this thing to 4 different shops. Everybody's looked at it. And he said, what it does is as you're going down the road, after 30 minutes of driving, it just slowly loses power. Like you're taking your foot off the gas. And you have to pull this side of the road. He goes, you let it idle for a minute and you can take off again and go for another hour or half hour, 45 minutes, and then it'll do it again. It's like clockwork. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah. So I started working on it. I looked at all kinds of stuff on that thing, man. I thought maybe the fuel sock was being pulled down. Maybe the filter in the tank was plugged up, all kinds of stuff. And I couldn't come up with nothing. And I'm just like, man, I just can't figure this out. So I had a vacuum gauge on it. What was the deal? The vacuum acted like you're letting your foot off the gas. So you know how vacuum drops as you throttle? Well, as this started to happen, the vacuum started coming up to 17 to 20 inches. Like you let off the gas. Like, what the hell is that about? So I messed with it. I took the carburetor off, looking down in the intake. I thought, well, maybe there's a seed or something. Maybe the rats got, I don't know. I couldn't come up with nothing, man. And so I called this instructor I know that taught me auto mechanics, and I told him what I had. And he goes, hang on. He goes, let me call you back in about an hour. So what he did, he huddled all the instructors together and told them the whole spiel on what was going on. Well, this one instructor, his name was Tom Baird, he used to have an airplane, so he knew a lot about airplane engines. And he gets on the phone. He goes, I know what it is. I go, what? Tell me. I'm tired of working on this thing. He goes, take it out and drive it. He goes, and then when it happens, get out and grab the carburetor. Tell me what you feel. He goes, I bet it's going to be like frozen. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, yeah, it's called carburetor icing. He said, what's happened is you got a big truck with a little four-cylinder engine. And he goes, you're running down the road 3/4 throttle all the time. And he goes, I bet you what's happening, something's happening, it's freezing up that carburetor. So I did what he said. Sure hell, man, that carburetor, what I did, I took a timing light with me. And as soon as it did it, I jumped out with the timing light and I looked down the throat of it so I could see it. And what it was, GM used, hey, Rebecca, welcome to the live. And so what it was is GM on their, like the little, it wasn't a GM, but GM used these. But they were a little heating grid that went underneath the carburetor and they would get hot. And they were evap. But when I looked down in there, there was ice all the way across that thing. It had built up a sheet of ice across there. And I knew what was wrong with it all along, but it never registered to me because, you know what a thermostatic air cleaner is? You know, it has a little sensor and it opens the door to hot air on a carburetor. It has a little valve and it closes. And then when it heats up, it opens to cool air. Well, thing is, those things cycle. So if they get really closed, they'll close again to keep the carburetor warm. And what it was, that little sensor in the air cleaner, I seen it when I was working on it. It was burnt up, like it had caught on fire and it was all melted. And that was what was wrong with it. That little $3 temperature sensor in the air cleaner was not letting that door open to hot air to keep the carburetor warm, and it was freezing. It was called carburetor icing. Really hard one to find. I worked on it for a week, man, if I figured it out. Yeah, that's what, you know, yeah, I heard that from somebody else about the LPG. They would freeze up. Carved car with a computer. Yeah, but that was the only one I ever seen do that. I thought those guys were brilliant, man. They could figure that out over the phone. But I gave them a lot of information, man. I told them everything I did. I had the carburetor off. I had the fuel tank down. I blew out the lines. I put new fuel line on. I put a new sock in it. You know, I did everything I could do. And I was driving it back and forth from work to home every day because, you know, that was the only way I could test drive it. And the guy actually gave me a $40 tip. He goes, you know what? He goes, I've had this at 5 shops, man. He goes, you're the first guy that could fix it. On the sound of a V8 with a disturber and carburetor, it's actually inefficiency. Yeah, who cares about inefficiency? It sounds cool. Floor, thank God. But it taught me a lesson. It made me learn. Well, kind of like you learn that, like, you know how you're using like air tools sometimes and they get like bone cold? It's the same concept. You just have a lot of airflow through a small opening and it gets cold. Phil Collins, welcome to the live, brother. How you doing? I'm burning straight biodiesel. Really? What are you burning that in? Obviously a diesel rig, right? Oh, are you burning that in that truck that you're saying? How's the Philippines thing going? Are you getting your stuff ready, getting a flight in order and all that? Is that a serious thing for you? Man, I want to see how that goes for you if you end up going. I'm going in spring. I'm going to go for a week. I want to go check it out, man. I'm getting to the age, I just want to go hang out on the beach and relax, you know? And I can't do it here. I don't make enough freaking money. It's just hard to live in California, man. It's great weather, but man, you pay up the butt for everything you do, man. It's getting unrealistic now. Joe Go got me an apartment. Oh, really? Joe Wander? Is he charging people to, like, as a consultant now, or did he just reach out to you? Hey, he's a cool dude. I watched his stuff, man. He's killing it on YouTube too, man. He's killing it. People like that country accent he has. It's a good old boy, you know, the way he does things. Hey, hey, when you talk to him, tell him who sent you, man. Tell him he needs to go check out our channel. I'm subscribed to him. He has good content. I was impressed by his content because he's new, man. His channel's only like less than a year old, you know? And I got a lot of information from his channel because that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to go cruise across Dumageddon on motorbikes. That sounds like a good time to me. Hey, Phil Collins, you're burning straight biodiesel? You're buying biodiesel or making it? All last year, and I would get moved on like a homeless bum, and I got 2 houses. That's crap, huh? Your house is down by the beach, Maggot? I might have to come there for vacation, man. Bring my metal detector and my flip-flops. I told my girl, I said, there's a guy on my thing. He said, hey, come anytime. I got a second house. You can hang out here. She goes, you never know with people, man. You can meet some great friends on the internet sometimes. I've always been like, didn't trust people. Because I had a guy on here. He was from Lebanon, and he was wanting me to come into business with him doing the hat thing. I just don't trust people like that. When you're willing, I don't know. I'm untrusting when it comes to this guy, Mag. I can tell he's a cool dude. I'm 2 hours inland. That's probably a good thing. Living right on the coastline. Over here, you don't want to live right on the coast, man. It's hard on your houses and your cars and all that. It's nice to live right there, but man, it tears up everything. All that salt air. Healthy caution. And I'm trying to figure out what this life is all about. I buy my diesel at the pump. Oh, biodiesel though, huh? Hey, Phil Collins, you seriously got an apartment over there? You found an apartment over there? Yeah, I think you're going to get it figured out, dude. I really do. I think you're right on the cusp of going, man, this is great. What was I thinking? You could be living a life of Riley. When you do, man, make sure you get a hold of me. Abby Fieldman. No, I'm not single. I have a girl in my life. Thanks for asking, though. Which of the 7 dwarfs are you? I'm the one that whooped your ass, boy. I got to be careful saying that, huh? Get myself in trouble with YouTube. On the being at the same time at the same place is very rare. Yeah. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? No, I'm just messing with you about the apartment. Okay. Hey, don't laugh at that guy. I threw him out on his ear. 7 dwarfs. I think he thinks 7 dwarfs. Hey, you should check that out though. Like, I don't know what your situation is, but if you're financially set, you know, to a degree, and I think a good exploration like that would be really good for you. And you're gonna make friends over there. I know it. They're just friendly people. You gotta watch the girls who's wanting to be friendly with you because they want to have pocketbook is what they want. Have to do is filter old oil and then pour 10% filtered old gas from the junkyard in it, and you have your biodiesel. You can run anything. Man, I don't know though. I never heard of that. I just wonder how does that affect your injection pump? Tourette's is normal over here. If you don't have it, you don't fit in. I'll fit it. I'll fit in just fine, man. Good for you, Richard. I'm glad you brought that in here and told us that. Why do people come? I gotta get moderators, man. I don't know why people come in and say that kind of stuff. Through Central America for a few months. It was fun. I could tell you a story about Central America, man. I had a buddy that was a backpacker. And he went to Central America. South America is where he went. He went to South America. And he come back and he was telling me, he goes, man, he goes, I got over there. And he goes, and then my calf swelled up. And he goes, I had this like sore on my calf. And he goes, it would like heal up and then it would get bad again. And then it would heal up. And then he goes, it got big and red like that. And he went to the hospital there. And he goes, you don't want to go to the hospitals there, man. You're taking your chances of like getting a staph infection or whatever. He said, but this thing, man, something was going on with my leg. So he went in there and what had happened, man, some kind of bug had poked into his leg and laid eggs in his leg. So he had to go in there and lance it and get all these eggs out of his leg. South America's got some stuff that'll kill you, man. They got all kinds of bugs and spiders and stuff, frogs that can kill you. You don't want to touch nothing over there. I know Australia's got a lot of deadly snakes, right? Maggot, you guys got a lot of like venomous, don't you? Don't you got fertile ants over there? Biscuit. That strictly makes content with the 90-10 ratio. So he's using 90% used oil, right? And 10% fuel. And I could see that it would burn, but man, I don't know about these injection pumps, how they'll hold up. And Stepper went to Belize for their honeymoon. She's never been right since. Yeah, there's some of these countries, man, you better be willing to like, you better be, you know, easy to go with the flow, man. Because if you don't, you ain't gonna like it. It'll be rough on you. I always wanted to go to Costa Rica. My boss, he was talking about moving to Costa Rica. He was going to take all of his stuff and move over there. He said, you got some things about Costa Rica is odd because he goes, like, first you pay a tariff for everything you bring in. So like you buy a big old shipping container, put all your stuff in there, and then you pay a percentage on the value when you come into the country. And then he goes, if you got to buy a TV or something like that, he goes, it's astronomical. The electronics in Costa Rica will just cost you so much money. I got bit by a brown recluse. Took like 6 months to heal. Brown recluse are no joke, man, for sure. You can lose it. You can lose your hand. Yeah. I was really into reptiles years ago. I knew a lot about reptiles. And brown recluse, it'll make your skin what they call chlorotic, where it becomes brown and dead. It's kind of like when you see a plant and it grows green, it gets to brown stuff and it dies away. That's what a brown recluse can do to your skin. I mean, you can lose your hand over one of those. They're no joke. I think it was a spider. Yeah. I don't know about Costa Rica. And it's kind of like they got some pretty sketchy characters over there. Try to come in and rob you and take your property, and you got to be willing to take care of yourself. Yeah, I don't know if I'd go there, but hey, I'll go to the Philippines. Philippines looks like a party time to me. I mean, not just party time, but a good life, good quality of life over there, really, compared to here. I think it's, Nicaragua, really. Phil, you've been all over the world, it sounds like, huh? You spent a lot of time traveling. You was in the military or what? How come you spent so much time? Didn't you tell me you did some kind of, like something for the federal government or something? I don't remember now. I heard that Vietnam is nice too. Animal caregiver for an animal hospital. I got bit by a cat in the hand. I got recognized. What times they had to have it went home and trained it myself. Man, that's tough. You know, one of the guys I worked with, he got that cat scratch fever. He almost died. Yeah, cats are, you don't want to get bit by a cat or scratched by a cat. He got scratched by a cat and he got this thing called cat scratch fever. And what it does is some kind of a parasite that attacks your brain. He almost died. I mean, people were coming up to his room and saying their last goodbyes to him. But he was a big old boy and he was tough and he survived. But I'm not kidding, he was like on death's door over that cat scratch fever. That's why I tell people, man, if you get a cat scratch, go get it washed out. That's serious, man. I'm a truck driver, heavy equipment operator. I used to be an iron worker. I'm addicted to per diem jobs. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Well, that's right. You were saying that you did, you was an iron worker. I know a guy that used to be an iron worker, truck driver, heavy equipment. I've worked on heavy equipment. I don't like working on it though. I'd rather I'm an electrical guy. I learned a long time ago, man, if you get really good at electrical and air conditioning, you get to work on all the nice, clean work. You don't have to get dirty. Those little wires don't weigh much, and you're putting in brand new stuff, so you stay nice and clean. I get a lot of grief from the guys in my shop going, oh, you're just a prima donna. I said, no, I know more than you. That's all. If you want to come over here and show me how to do it, let's see if what you know. But most people don't like electrical. But once you learn it, you're the guy. You know, everybody wants you to do all the electrical. So that's where I went with my career. I was electrical and like a drivability specialist. Yeah, most people say that. I love it, but I understand it well. I've been doing it for 40 years. Just like this boat, I'm going to go out there with a set of cutters. I'm going to cut every wire off that thing, and I'm going to start from zero, and I'm going to rewire it and make it look nice. We get swooped by birds here. They're really dangerous. We get land attacks, sea attacks, and air attacks. Really? Is electronic engineering technology. Really? I should have been. I really thought about becoming an engineer. I kind of regret that I didn't go to engineering school, because I love like building stuff and like designing stuff on paper and doing all that. And so I probably should have done that, but I'm such a knothead. I'm so hard-headed sometimes, you know. Electronics, engineering, technology. I've had a couple projects I was like, man, I wish I understood this better, because, you know, I got a couple projects I've been sitting on for years, and that's one of the things I want to do with so I own the website Go Big Tools, but it's there, but I haven't, it's not ready to be launched yet. That's one of the things I want to do. I want to get with a manufacturer, and I got 2 tools that I want to manufacture, but I don't have a lot of cash right now. That's why I'm on here trying to make money. Hey, on, work on it. You'll figure it out. Yeah, AI is something, you know, people are going to get tired of AI, but I know what the nice thing about AI is, man, you can save yourself so much research time. Like I use Chat GPT all the time. It's like Google on steroids, you know. I call him Bob. I asked Bob, gets Bob's opinion. And, you know, I was like doing the research on this motor. I used that. I did like 10 hours worth of research in like 10 minutes. I did engineering and went concreting. You sound like me. You know, honestly, I went to school to be a respiratory therapist. I made it halfway through and I was like, I hate this. I would have made good money, but I was like, I hate this. Why am I here? And I went into automotive. Like wiring a house, it's real simple to wire it when you're building. It's a pain. It's already done and you have to rewire something. Yeah, that's how automotive is. Okay, boxing Historia. You wouldn't say that to me in public. You'd go to the dentist. I guarantee you, you go to the dentist that day. These people got some big balls. That's all I gotta say. boxing historian. I'll give you something to have history about. So today it's kind of cold, man, but I'm a wussy when it comes to cold weather. I live in California, and man, when it gets 50 degrees, I'm cold. You know, people I know, my buddy lives in Montana. He's like, you don't know what cold is. I'm like, nope, and I don't want to know. I'm a wussy, man. I got to stay warm. If I lived somewhere like that, I'd have a heated shop, man, where I could go out there and be nice and warm all day. I got the boat out in the driveway right now. I got to build me a shop. That's what I really need. Pour melted Chevy pistons in there. We can make hundreds of them. Do you guys do that casting, a maggot? That's really cool. I love that kind of stuff. Metallurgy. There's a lot to, back in the day, that people did that a lot. Like a lot of people don't know what Babbitt bearings are, but in the old Model A's, the bearings would go away. And they had Babbitt bearings, and people would do it on the side of the road. They'd pour a new bearing, put it in there, go down the road they go. Take a nap. You all have a good one. Okay, V-Trend Breed. Hey, come back. Give us your subscription. Come hang out with us. We're just a bunch of old dudes shooting the bull in the mornings. Got an big old brick fireplace in the middle of my house. I got a pretty good sized fireplace. It's big, man. It's like 5 feet wide. My house was built in like 1949, but it's built like a castle, man. Good house. Your own database using AI. Charge people for it. Yeah, I gotta, they say, man, if you don't get on that AI, you're going to be left behind. I don't know. I see where it's useful, but I see the video part of it. People are going to get tired of it fast because, you can only recreate so many things with AI. You can't, like this right here, you can't recreate this. People's personalities and their opinions and, their life history, their life stories. And I think those are the things that are going to become real popular with YouTube over time, is just good, content that's from the heart, I got wheels on my house. What do you mean you got? Oh, yeah. What are you living in, Phil? Are you in a travel trailer? Are you in, what kind of trailer are you in? I was really into RVing. Actually, that was my plan. I was going to sell this house, and me and my wife was going to just travel in our motorhome. But my wife got sick and passed. Oh, trolls. Yeah, I know. Oh, that's cool, man. Sounds really cool. I want to get a way where we can share pictures on here. That's one of the things I want to be able to do. I'm working on it. I'm going to set up a separate email for here so I can put it out on the thing. So like if you guys want to, hey, show my car today or something, we can split the screen and show you guys' projects and stuff. A travel trailer I bought for about 8 years ago. Really? Yeah. There's nothing wrong with this. Actually, that's really cheap living. It can be. It depends on how you spend, but that's what we were going to do. We were just going to, because my kids live in Tennessee and Arizona, and yeah, man, Phil, I'm not kidding you. Take it from an old man. How old are you? You're like pretty young still, right? Aren't you like in your late 40s, early 50s? Around. Oh, really? Clutch and stick. New techs are able to reference that database immediately. Yeah, well, I see what you're saying. I hope you do that, Phil. I think I mean, you don't want to waste time in life. Take from a guy that watched, his wife pass in 33 days that life is not guaranteed. And, you know, if you have something you want to go do, I think the Philippines, even if you don't stay there permanently, as just an adventure, go do it. What do you got to lose? Lake for the last couple months, $22 a night. Yeah. Like I said, when I went up to Oregon, it was crazy. They had a place up there. It was called Boyles Lake, and it was part of Departmental DWR or something like that. Anyway, the cost a night was like $3 or some stupid like that. It was crazy. It was like $7 a night, I think. And my wife had a disabled card, so we got it for half price. And we stayed there for like a week and a half because it was so nice. There was no one around us. We had the whole lake, the beautiful lake to ourselves, man. It was just beautiful. And you can live really cheap. They have these like areas that are free, like a lot in Arizona, California, where you just go out there and you can stay 14 days free of charge as long as you have a fully self-contained unit. And you can live pretty damn free out there. Ram your fence here and land on your property. I got this big letterbox mold. I've got them everywhere. Really, that's funny. Big letterbox mold. Got a lot of cops come on your property. You ram your fence and come on your property. What's that about? Dang cops. That's funny though. Put those up. When I was a kid, I lived in a really bad neighborhood, and these kids kept kicking our mailbox off the post. So my brother went out there, man, and he took a piece of 1/4-inch steel and drilled into it, and he put 4 big lag bolts into the post, and then bolted the mailbox to it really good. And we figured out who was kicking our mailbox off because he was walking around limping for about the next 2 weeks. He went and tried to kick that belt box off, and it didn't move, man. He about broke his foot. Ethan K, is the beard real? Absolutely. Why, you think it's not real? That's something I need to lean into. Everybody keeps talking about my beard. I said, man, I should get some beard oil. Call it Go Big Beard Oil. I'd like a smaller trailer with some solar and off-road capabilities. Yeah, that'd be nice, huh? If you're living by yourself, it's easy to do. I love that little 30-foot motorhome I have. I wish I could put like, 5,000 watts of solar on it. That'd be sweet, man, because you could just be self-contained then. Oh, hell yeah. Welcome to the live, Ethan Kate. I don't think I've ever seen you here before. Welcome to the live. I'm a 40-year mechanic. We come in here and talk just about whatever, usually mechanical stuff. In the mornings, we have coffee and just talk about our hot rods and stuff. I'm going to try to keep this up. I'm going to be going to work pretty soon, you guys, like at 5 in the morning. Or, I'll be up at 5, but I got to be to work at 6:30. So maybe I'll keep trying to do a live like in the mornings before I go to work. No, it's beautiful. All right, thanks, man. Yeah, I get a lot of people talking about the beard. I'm thinking, I'll tell you the secret to a good beard is keep it trimmed every day. If you let it get out of control, you only trim it once in a while. Even mine, if I don't take care of it, it gets all. I look like like a crazy man. Well, you want to keep it trimmed every day, every day, because if you cut it and then it doesn't look right for a day or two. Hey, Gordon, what's up? I saw the video of a guy that rigged a bike seat so that when someone would try to steal the bike and sit on the seat, the thief would get a mean cornhole surprise. That's funny, man. One time at work, we used to set off the airbags for they'd have like safety award things, and we'd usually set up an airbag and set it off for people so they can see what it looked like and stuff. And one of the guys in the shop, he tried to talk me into it. He almost had me talked into it. He goes, you know what? He goes, we ought to take one of those airbags and I'll sit on it and see how far it'll launch me in the air. And I was like, you know what? That'd be fun. So we started thinking about it. I was like, we should do that. And then I was like, no, that's a bad idea, Greg. Because airbags have an explosion that happens inside of them. It's not just air that goes, poof. It's actually a charge inside the bag that ignites like gunpowder kind of stuff. It's not gunpowder, but it's like that. So when you light off an airbag, it goes boom. But what happens, a lot of people when they get in car accidents, they get burns from those airbags because they come out like that really fast, and they have little holes in them. They go down and they vent. And when they vent, they got really hot gases that come out of them. So a lot of people you'll see in accidents now have big old burns on their necks and on their arms and stuff. It's from those airbags. And I told Greg, no. I said, our luck, that freaking air is going to vent right up your butthole. And we'll be in HR. How did Greg get his butthole burn off? Well, we were messing around with an airbag. Mailbox on a coil spring. That's a good one. Yeah. I had some issues on my property, man. I built some bear traps, what they call bear traps. I probably shouldn't talk about it on here. Keeps people from jumping over your fence. Man, I'm so happy I signed that document. I don't know what that is about. Whatever. You'll probably get thrown out. Man, there's only about 5 of you that I can leave in here. Everybody keeps getting thrown out of here. You know, I'm hearing a lot from people though, is we got to get a panel going, because we get a panel going with, like, you know, me and Collection Stick and Craft and old Maggot, where everybody can hear us. We'd probably have one of the best podcasts going. Oh, these people, man, I don't know why. Trolls, like you said, man. I wish I could reach through the screen and just, like, give them a little pop in the nose. They need it sometime. Trap bike. Yeah. I had people that kept coming over my fence. So I took some plywood and I did some things with it that kept them from coming over my fence. They only jumped over there one more time and then they didn't come back. People need to use their creativity to get a flipping job. It's so easy these days. Oh, I know. Life is too simple, isn't it? That's what I've said. Never solve anything, man. I don't know. I think it has for me a few times. Not that I'm a violent guy, but sometimes people are just, they're disrespectful on people's lives and stuff. They get on here and talk trash and they're little keyboard wizards, you know? Yeah, you're right. Clutch and Stick, you're so right, man. It's simple. Life's too simple now. Think about what our parents and our grandparents used to have to go through. You know, they used to build their houses with their hands, man. They didn't have people come build a house. They built them. You know, they didn't have water. You turn it on, it comes on. They had to go get the water. They had to, you know, store their food. They had to learn how to harvest animals so they could survive. It's become, there's no survival anymore. If you take this away from most people, they'll die because they can't get a pizza delivered to the house. They want attention. Yeah, I know. I try to ignore them, but gosh, I'm working on it. I really am. I'm really trying really hard not to respond to people like that. But gosh, it's not in my DNA. I'm trying though. Pennywise looking for attention. I helped my grandfather build his 4,200 square foot house back in the 80s. Clutch and Stick, that's awesome, man. You know what I want to do? And I should try to, it's something I've always wanted to do. And I'm really like, it's really in my mind. I'd love to do it. I know I don't have that many years left. You know, I'm 60. You know, I got probably, 18 years left if I'm lucky. Well, Havarsky, you're a carpenter. Good for you, man. Good for you. My hat's off to you. Working man. I know what that's all about. I used to be a plaster and hod carrier back in the day. That's a tough job. But anyway, I always wanted to do a timber frame house. Do you guys know what that is? Timber frame housing. It's how they used to build houses before sticks and bricks came along. I do HVAC. Hey, Pennywise. 60 is young. Yeah, I know. People say that, but you look at the life expectancy, my wife passed at 60. So now you look at what life expectancy, you don't want to waste much time screwing around. Yeah, it's hard work, Harvinsky. It is, man. But it's probably why my back hurts today. It was good money, though. It was some tough guys I worked with back then. Like that guy that was just in here, he wouldn't come up on a crew like that. He'd go home with his shirt on backwards. There's life after the life, brother. Yeah, I know. I've heard. It's one thing I don't do here, man. I don't do politics or religion, and I'm not against either one. I just don't do them here. Just so you know. Yeah, I know there's a creator. I get that. But yeah, do you guys know what timber frame housing is? It's where they make, years ago they used to build houses like this. So they take they build these things on the ground, and they make this like a tree without bark, and they make these big like tilt ups, and they're really good way to build a house when you're doing it on your own, because you build them on the ground and then you tilt it up, and you build the next one and you tilt it up, and all that stuff becomes on the inside of the house. So you see all those exposed timbers on the inside. And I always, I'm getting older. I know I'm not the young guy I used to be, but I've always wanted to get like either pay to have milled lumber brought to my property that I bought. I don't have it now, but if I bought property, you can get logs from the lumber mills. You can have them bring a whole load of logs and do them. But man, a young guy, if I was 25 again and I knew what I knew now, I would go get me a portable mill. I'd buy me a piece of property that's got some good timber on it, and I would log my own timber, and I'd build me a timber frame house, because they'll last. They got timber frames that are standing that are 400 years old. The only reason we went away from that was for convenience. That's why we went to 2x4 dimensional lumber, and they use old school joinery where it goes together. They just use big old wooden dowels and drive them in. It's really neat. I love that stuff. When I was, the community they had back when I was a lot tired, though, they worked with each other. Yeah, people don't anymore, man. Used to frame houses. I've built some stuff. I mean, I'm no master carpenter, but I can pound some nails. But I spent 40 years bending over. My back's toast. But I just do stuff anyway. I'm just like, I don't care, man. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. I can hurt sitting in this chair. I can be hurt while I'm out riding my bike or up on the roof doing what I want to do. It's awesome. I'm going to do that. You know what, man? Harvinsky, man, do it. I regret not doing it when I was younger. It's the way to go. Here's what I do if I was a young guy, because you can make money on lumber, man. And you can buy if you get a piece of property that's got a good amount of timber on it, buy you a portable mill, set you up a flat pad, put you in a small little, a mobile that you bought for 10 grand just to get you by. Live in that, build you a house. All you need is a loader and a mill and a lot of determination, man. You could have a good life. My roof is Jara, red hardwood. Really? That's cool, man. Your house sounds awesome, man. Everything you've told me about your house sounds amazing. Jara. It's a red hardwood from Australia. No, Australia. I got to get that right. Australia. He said go slow. Have you seen the chainsaw jig for milling logs? I have. But when it comes to milling a lot of logs, you really want a portable mill. And if you can get a nice portable mill for $20,000 and just use it when you get done, sell it. You get almost what you paid for it back. And then you get a piece of property, go look at it, see what's on it. Get you a loader with some chokers and get the logging. It's not hard. Logging's not a big deal. I mean, I've done some logging when I was a kid, so I kind of understand. Brass car door handles in my house doors. Man, Maggie, you sound like a guy like me. I love that kind of stuff. Stuff that lasts forever. That's why we say do stuff where you only gotta do it once. Why do it? Do it right the first time. A lot of people are using shipping containers stacked together. Yeah, Wilt, I've heard of that, and I've looked into that. And the shipping containers have their place, but I'll tell you something about the shipping containers is you got to insulate them well, and it's a lot of work to get one to the point where you can live in it, unless you live in an area like like Costa Rica or somewhere like that where the weather isn't cold. Because I seen a guy that did a really nice pool with one. He cut the windows out and he filled it with water, and then you could see people swimming by. I thought that was kind of cool. It was kind of redneck, but I'm kind of a redneck anyway. Regulations slow a lot of people down. I know they do. That's the thing. We used to not have all this freaking regulation. I know there's certain states like, Tennessee and places in the South, you can kind of do whatever you want, man. Unless they say, like in Tennessee, where my daughter lives, you can build a second house without a permit or nothing and do whatever you want to it, but you just can't sell it. So if you're going to keep it in the house, say you want to build a house for your kids, you can just build it. Just build it however you want to. Vervinsky, subscribe. I like this channel. Good deal, man. Appreciate that you do like it. Try to make it. I don't know. I'm a little surprised how some people have liked the channel, because it's just some old guy sitting here rambling away. Sometimes I think, I just try to be myself though. And we got some good characters in here too. Those timber frame houses are, yeah, man, they are so nice. And you could build one for nothing. I mean, I almost spent the money. There's a place in I'm wanting to say it's in Washington or it's in Maine, one of those. And the guy does it's a week-long skills thing. And you go there and he'll teach you all that stuff. He'll teach you how to use one of those big, long, how to do the joinery. So they do it on the ground and they teach you the whole thing. They teach you how to do all the joints, how to get the logs ready. So it's about $2,500. But I was thinking, man, that's not bad for learning a skill like that. Vervinsky, yeah, I thought about going to Alaska, but I'm such a wussy when it comes to cold weather. I'd die. I'd cry like a little girl. Yeah, I don't like cold weather, man. I got to be warm. Yeah, those boxes would make good workshops. Yeah, you know what I thought about on one of those trailers too? I would put some structure in the corners and then have a rotating wheel assembly that you can just lift it up, rotate the wheel and lock it, and you could tow the thing down the road. Have wheels that where you can rotate them down, that you wouldn't even have to put on a trailer. So when you wanted to move it, you could take them off and on, put some big heavy plating on the inside where you could, move them anytime you wanted to. There's a lot of good uses for those. They're not cheap though. They're I know the people that are getting them for dirt cheap, and then they charge up the butt for them. Yeah, I don't like being cold, man. Like I said, I'm a wuss. When it gets 50, it's not cold here in California, but I turned the heater on yesterday morning. It was cold, man. It was 61 degrees in the house. I'm like, dang, it's cold in here. To me, 61 is cold. Maggot, what's the temperature like where you're at? Does it get really cold or does it stay pretty warm? We got 8 people in here. Man, I'll be glad when we get 20, 30 people, 50 at a time. Not that I don't like hanging out with you guys. It's just, man, I'm trying to get the channel to grow. It's a tough gig, man. But you know what? I'm telling you, anybody that's thinking about doing YouTube, do the lives. It's the best way to get your subscriptions and to get your hours. Because you have to get And you know what? That getting monetized is not as big a deal as everybody makes it out to be. Because, man, it's hard to make money with AdSense and all that. You got to grind at it. But that's my hope, is I can get this thing up to where, if it could just make me another $1,000 a month, not from you guys, but from YouTube and like the Amazon stuff, like the links and stuff, it would change my life where I wouldn't have to keep working. I'm tired of working. I want to be at home working in the garage and goofing off with hot rods and stuff. Will, you're in Atlanta? Georgia boy. I've never been to Georgia, but man, I would think it's nice there. It's the South, so it gets pretty cold in the winter, huh, Meg? Atlanta is a lot like Tennessee, real high humidity. You get a lot of crazy weather there. You can also create go live with the person you selected. Yeah, I'm checking that out, man. Hey, Crafts, you have a channel, don't you? Yeah, because you do permaculture and other grow kind of different plants, I'm talking about. I know what you're into. I'm a California guy, man. Can also create go live. I thought about making a channel about that, but I just don't like the riffraff sometimes it comes with it. Create go live with the person you selected. What do you mean go live with the person you selected? So I can just choose somebody from this list right here, or I have to do that before it starts? Because I know I can invite people in, because on here it says, I can present or invite. And when I click on there, I can invite a guest. But when I do that, I got to send you a link. So it's like a link that goes to your email, and then you can come in as a guest. So that's why I want to set up another email just for the Go Big thing, and then I can put it on here and say, hey, if you guys want to come on, or if I'm talking to somebody, say, hey, why don't you come on as a guest? I'll just send the link. They could send me their email, and I'll send the link, and then we can get them on here. That's the plan, is to get like a kind of a that way people don't have to sit and listen to me ramble, because some people probably get tired of this old guy just going on and on and on and on and on. But I can talk to myself, man. I like hearing myself talk. That's what my girl says. She goes, man, you like to talk, don't you? I'm like, yeah. Why not, man? Only got so many years. I got a lot to say. I'm not sure what that Wesley Wagner means, all that, but how's it going? Go big. What does go big mean? So I started, it means go big or go home. That's what it means. Go big is it's kind of our motto of our channel. And I started a website called Go Big Tools. We're just trying to come up with a good logo, and it seems to be working pretty good. And you always want something that some people can remember. And they used to call me Big Boy at work sometimes. So I said, I'll just call myself Go Big. I used to be a lot bigger than I am now. I used to be I was 260 at one point. And I was a beast, I had guns on me. I wasn't the little skinny guy I am now. But I got older. I lost 40 pounds when my wife passed. And so I'm trying to keep the weight off, because I try to keep my weight about 215, 220. But anyway. Yeah, kind of like get her done, exactly. Kind of just a little motto so people can remember us by. Seems to be working. We've had a lot of people ask about the hats. We're looking into doing merch. I got 4 samples coming. I don't know if you guys are into hats, but I'm kind of like a hat snob. So there's 2 really good companies. I mean, they're not the very highest quality, but they're like a medium, like a pretty good premium quality. And one is Anderson. They make really nice trucker hats, but I want to do these flex fits. So I got a company called Upong. They're really popular in the hat industry. So we found a good resource to get those. So we got a Yupung and some Anderson hats, 3 different models coming, so I can try them and make sure they're good quality, and then we'll have the stuff put on. Yeah, Havronsky, that's what I heard. You know, few people have said that the fitted hats are best, but the problem with fitted hats is you gotta stock so many different sizes. It's hard for the merch part of it, but I'm gonna try that. We'll see what the most common fitted hat is, because this is a fitted hat. And I got this one because they didn't have the flex fits that I like, and I wanted to get a hat that day. So I got one, and I like it, but I really like the flex fits. I don't know, they just seem like they're easier for me for some reason. Giveaways are good too. Yeah, we've been giving away tools. Friday nights we give away tools. But yeah, we could do some hats for sure. But all this stuff costs money, you know. I'm on a fixed income, man. I got a retirement, you know, and then I'm working part-time, part year. So I gotta be kind of careful with my money, which I haven't been lately. Give me, oh, Curtis Clare. Yeah, I know I got big ears. You know what, Curtis Clare? I learned how to box because of my ears. If that tells you anything, because I know how to box because I have big ears. Harvinsky, nice. Before you select, usually with a prompt on agreement. What do you mean by that, Craft Organics? What do you mean? I don't understand. Before you select, usually with a prompt on agreement. Maggot, you're amazing with money. Tell me your secrets, man. I need to learn them. I'm 61. I'm still working, man, just to keep my bills on paid. Tanner, how else? Glad you're talking about the hats. Really? I didn't realize how much money there is in merch, but I guess it's a big thing. And we're going to be able to, I don't know, let me get your opinions on the hats. What's a good price point on a hat, on a good hat? Because I was thinking like $49. And one guy told me that's nothing anymore. He said $49 is nothing on a hat. He said there's people that are paying $100 for a hat. I don't want to rate people, but you know, I'd like to offer a good product at a good price. You know, that's why I didn't go with cheapo hats. I could have there's hats you can get for $2 a piece, but what you're going to get is a $2 hat. I want to get good quality. I'm going to grow produce and have that pay for the land I'm going to buy. You can do that, Harvinsky. I was really into small lot farming. Hey, go check out this guy named Curtis Stone. Rocking dude, man. You can learn a lot of stuff from that guy. And another guy is John Martin. John. He's a Swedish guy, but I bought a book from him, and great information for small lot farming. You can make money. Farming is hard work, though. I'll tell you right now. I did it here, and it's a lot of work, man. But if you're willing to work, man, you can do what you're saying. Yeah, you can do that. You can actually farm on other people's land. That's what, go check out Curtis Stone. He's a farmer. He teaches people how to farm on other people's land, where you go and you make an agreement with them and you farm and use their land. And a lot of people are open to that. Hervinsky, $49 is cheap, huh? Yeah, I got the guy's name wrong. It's not John. He's not Russian. He's from another country. He talks differently. I'll find it and I'll tell you about it. It's spelled different. It's like Jean or something like that. But just look up small lot farming and he'll come up, man. He's a big timer, man. He make millions of dollars teaching people how to do this. Yeah, I do too. I love gardening. It's kind of my happy place. The stage with the grapes where I'm gonna need a little refrigerator van for the market. Really? Good for you, Maggie. You sell a lot of grapes? Yeah, Harvinsky, go check out what I'm telling you, because there's some really good concepts on that about like growing under landscape fabric, and they show you how to do the spacing and how to do the watering, and you can set it up on somebody else's property, and then you just offer them a yearly supply of vegetables. And a lot of people are open to that, especially if they have land they're not doing nothing with. A lot of people have backyards and all they do is water the grass and mow it. So they're open to that, and it looks nice. So you can make some money. I mean, this guy, there's another guy, and I don't mean to get off subject just about gardening with you guys, but there's a guy in New York, and he's a farmer, and I have to think of his name. Remind me, and I'll bring it up. But he claims that he makes $400,000 a year on acre and a half because of the processes they use. He makes it he doesn't waste time doing things that don't matter. Very slim down farming where you don't waste time. I'll remember his name, man, but he's a great tomato farmer and stuff, but he's great. You can put the link in his page in your description once you're finished with this. You can put the link into his page. Great idea. I know some guys would land too. Hey, Clutch, explain that to me, man. I can put the link to his page in your description once you're finished with this. So you're saying go find the link to this guy, the farmer, and put it in the description of this? I'm trying to figure. Yep. Yeah, garlic's a good one. Garlic takes time, though. Garlic's a really good one. I tell you two crops that work really well. But you got to be first to market. If you can be first to the market with tomatoes, you'll sell everything you can grow. So you got to start early. You got to get tomatoes early and get to the market and be the first one with tomatoes, and you'll sell everything you own. Another one is I'm trying to think right now. What's the stuff you make pesto with? I got a bunch growing right now. I just can't think today. What do you make pesto out of? I can't think today. You were referring to all right, I'll do that. I got it. Yeah, basil. Harvinsky basil. Basil's another one that it's slow growing, so you got to get on it early. So get your starts going indoors, and then transplant them outside as soon as you can. If you can get to market and be the first one with basil, you'll sell everything you have, because people are just chomping at the bit to make pesto, and you can't make pesto without fresh basil. Yeah, cloning is easy. I've done a little bit of that with tomatoes. You do. They have a certain brand just for the root part. Yeah. So there's a lot you can do, and you can pay for your property that way, but be aware it's hard work, man. A lot of people think farming is just, it's simple. No, it's a lot of work. Harvesting, growing the crop. The hardest part about farming is selling your product, because a lot of people can grow and a lot of people can produce it, but you have to have a market to get rid of it, because you'll end up with a bunch of stuff and you can't sell it, and then you don't make no money. So you want to think about what's your market before you even get started. You have to have a market for it. That means go to the farmers markets, go to, your local stores and see if they'll buy some of your product. Yeah, if you don't, I'll remember some other ones. I spent a lot of time researching this, so I got a lot of information for you. I'll do that. And you know what? If you come back on my next live, I'll have them ready and I'll post them. And like Clutch and Stick said, I'll try to put the links, because I don't even know how to get the descriptions. How do you guys get to the descriptions from this? Is there up where it says more or something? Because I don't see it on my screen. I only see it when I set it up. Clutch and Stick, how do you guys get to the description? Is it easy to get to? Because I'm on StreamYard. All right, Harvinsky, take care, buddy. Come back when you have time. I'm usually doing lives in the early morning like this. Then I'll get going on my day. You guys tie me up some. Sometimes my girl comes back home. She goes, "What have you been doing?" I'm like, "I've been working on YouTube, man. I've been working on YouTube, hanging out with the boys, shooting the bull with the bros." We get a lot of people that tell me they listen to this. Scout was one of them. She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "He listens to it. She walks her dogs and stuff, and she listens to us. Nutcases carry on." Go into YouTube Studio on your YouTube homepage and modify your video. I know how to do that, but I'm saying I know how to get there. But I'm saying, how do you guys get to, like, when I tell people go check out the description, how do you get to the description from here? Because are you seeing it through YouTube? Oh, that's right, because you guys are watching it through YouTube. See, I'm seeing StreamYard. So when I'm looking at my screen, it's just all StreamYard, right? And you guys are actually seeing the YouTube system and probably just like a little StreamYard little duck thing in the corner, huh? I had 2 garden centers in a shop that sold everything I made, then couldn't trade. Hey, Maggot, what do you mean then couldn't trade? What do you mean couldn't trade? Because I have 1/3 of an acre where I'm at, and I got a giant yard every year, or garden every year. And I use landscape and I do drip, get everything in early. I think next year though, okay, 220 lockdown. Dang. You would think you'd be able to just set up a stand out there, non-contact stand, where people could only come one at a time. But man, they make it so hard to make money. We're watching on you. Don't see the duck. I have seen people stream like that before though. Okay. Yeah. So you guys are seeing the YouTube part of it. I didn't realize that. See, I'm illiterate. I'm learning all this stuff as I go. Yeah. But next year, I'm going to do all tomatoes. I'm going to do my whole back in tomatoes. Tomatoes are a great crop. This year, at the end of the season, they were selling heirloom tomatoes for $7 a pound. That's like buying a steak on a tree, And if you get your tomatoes figured out, if you trellis, you can get 30 pounds to a plant. Yeah, acres plenty, man. It's a lot of work, though. You have to put systems in that make it simple for you. To me, I think you should have a small little tractor that you can bring compost in and not have to kill yourself with a wheelbarrow. And then get landscape fabric down and spend the money to do a soil test. That's important. That's cool, Mag. It sounds you're set up, man. Tomatoes are I think if you just did good quality, man, you could do good. Like I said, they were selling tomatoes crazy prices this year. And I think I did 40 plants this year, and I could take it to I could go to 200 on my property probably. And then just do a really good job at pest control and staying on top of doing the organic feeding and just feed them really well. I didn't do a good job. I did good at the very beginning of the season. I slacked off at the end. You could see it because tomatoes they stop producing good sized tomatoes. They start getting smaller. But to be first to the market, man, cherries are the way to go. You can do cherries. You could have a ton of tomatoes early in the season. And people, man, they look for tomatoes first part of the year. Patio pavers, you walk on to pattern on them. I got 600 of them molds. Really? You got 600 molds or you got 600 pavers? 600 molds. What are you pouring in there? Concrete? You're a beast, man. This guy pours his own parts, makes his own concrete, builds it. Man, you're like Crocodile Dundee of the industry, aren't you? I'm just messing with you. You know that, right? 600 molds. So what do you, how are you pouring the molds? Got the bullnose pool surrounded molds. So you're putting concrete in those? Is that what you're doing? You're pouring them with concrete? And are they like a silicone mold or just like a, what kind of, I'm kind of curious now. I got a driveway that I need to make into, I want to be able to drive my motorhome and stuff, and it's just gravel right now. And I got an estimate for somebody to come do concrete. It's freaking crazy how much they want. It's like there's ain't gonna happen. And I thought about just going and get me a mixer and just mix my own and just pour it like 3-foot sections at a time. Oh yeah, I know what a vibration table is. I built one time. You're presented on video just like a short. Okay. I put the power table, fill it with concrete. Motorhome 120 millimeter thick. So you're saying, do I with the cement, and I need to add bar, huh? Because everybody keeps saying you got to put rebar and all this other stuff. And I looked how it's done, and I could do it myself, but trying to get somebody to come do it, it's crazy what they want. It's like I can't afford that. You know, they're quoting me like $20,000 to do my driveway. It's pretty long though. Get the mesh sheet. Yeah, the 4-inch by 4-inch. Oh no, 4-inch sections. Get the mesh sheet. Craft Organics. Your cucumbers do best at the market. Have you done those really long ones? They're like I think they're called Israeli cucumbers or something. They're kind of thin and they kind of get long and they curve. Man, they're crispy. I was surprised how good they are. We grew some this year. Man, I was really happy with them. They're a little smaller diameter and they're light color green. They're not dark green. And they come out and they get a kind of a little curve to them. But man, I really liked them. They were good. I used to get $7 just for me. 3 days work. Yeah, that's hard work though. I get why they charge that, but I just can't. I'm the kind of guy, I like to do things myself. I don't like to pay other people, but my back's toast anymore. I can get like a 1-yard tote, or maybe it's a 2-yard tote. I thought about doing that, just getting it ready, put the screen in like you said, put the little bricks under that holds it up, frame it, get it ready. And then they have these totes you can get. You go get them and you pull them behind your rig. And as you pull them, it keeps them turned up. And then it has a little pump on there and you can pump it, but you can only do 2 yards at a time. Yeah, the companion planting. I learned, one thing I learned about that I didn't know when I started this was how to get crops in the ground and harvest them off and have another crop coming right behind it. Because you can get like radishes is a good example. Radish is a great crop because it grows. You can get radishes in 30 days and you can just harvest and replant and have another crop in 30 days. And you can just keep doing that over and over in that row. And you can get 10 crops off of there. To where you just companion, like you said, do some companion planting. Cold press juicing. Yeah, I don't know much about that. I'll check it out though. Anything to keep me healthy. I got pickling cucumber in. Yeah, it's funny how those cucumbers are so many different types. Like you said, they have some that are just for making pickles. They stay kind of small and they got the little bumps all over them. And then they got slicers. And I tell you one that I like is called a straight 8. That's a good slicer for the house. They just kind of get, about this long. They're dark green. They don't get overly big as long as you pick them on time. But yeah, cucumbers do good here. But you got to stay on top of the pests. We get a lot of pests with the cucumbers. I just started spraying them with like soapy stuff with soap. It works pretty good. I didn't stay on it this year. I think what I'm going to do next year though, because I had some issues and I needed to do a big area. And I did a big area. And I have this foam cannon that I use on my steam cleaner, and you can adjust the amount of foam it puts out and how much pressure. And I was thinking, man, that'd be a good way to knock down some pests, because you can put whatever in the container. And I usually use like insecticidal soap or neem oil. I try to stay organic, and I use diatomaceous around the bases. But sometimes, just like aphids, you can just get rid of them with soap, just like Dawn dish soap. And I think Dawn is okay to use. I've used it, and I don't think it's harmful at all. Sand and polyurethane seal for the road. Vinegar if the sun is out. Really? For the pest? Maggot, that's for the pest, vinegar? Man, I'm learning all kinds of stuff from you guys. You guys are teaching me all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna be full of all kinds of useless knowledge. Salty water, the sun is out too. All for weeds. Yeah, I've heard that. And a friend of mine, he told me a good trick too, and I tried it. It works really good. He said if you got like weeds that grow in the cracks, like in your driveway and stuff, he said wait till you get a kind of a cold morning, go out there and just pour boiling water on it. And I did it, and it worked good. I don't get much weeds, maggot, because I set my properties up with landscape fabric, and I just don't have weeds now. It takes about 2 seasons, and you don't have weeds. I'm a genius on my planet, bro. Yeah, me too, man. I'm a genius on my planet. I don't think our planets are too far from each other, though. That's the problem. English, but the Asians are about the same. Cucumber grow best here. Yeah, we do good with cucumber. But I don't think they do as well at the market, though. Tomatoes are the king, man. I really thought about doing tomatoes and then just setting up a thing at my house, a U-pick for tomatoes, or just have a table all set up with tomatoes, because I can grow a lot of tomatoes, man. I mean, I can grow. I was looking at it and I was thinking I could probably do, because I can do 30 pounds. You'll get 20 pounds of plant. 30 is doable, but 20, you can do 20 pounds of plant, not that hard. You just got to keep the suckers pruned off of them and prune them down to like 2 liters. Don't let them go crazy, and you'll get a lot more fruit. And, but you think, 20 pounds of plant, 10 plants is 200 pounds. So 20 pounds of plant times, 200 plants. What's that? 4,000 pounds of at $8 at least you could, ideally you could make $20,000 on this property in a season. If I could do that, I wouldn't have to work. And I love gardening, but anyway, I love hot rods too. I love doing the wrench and stuff. I just try to keep a good, varied, and the gardening for me is seasonal. So like our garden goes in early, and by the end of July, I'm done. Because August is blazing hot here, and the cost of water is really high. So I don't want to be farming in August. By the end of July, take the garden out. Done for the year. Then we'll go on to other things. But I think I could actually make $20,000 extra here on just tomatoes. Craft Organics, you're a big organic guy, aren't you? I need to come up with a good blend for my garden. Because I've been putting like compost on it, and then I do some organic dry. That's just like it's Home Depot dry stuff, but it's 100% organic. That Dr. something in a bag, and I was gonna go with Gaia Green. It's a turkey-based one, but I'm just kind of just putting it down. I don't really know if I'm doing it right because I put a lot of compost down, and then when I plant the tomatoes, I put a little bit of Epsom salt in there in the hole, and I put some good dry organic in there, and then I do some stuff that you probably know what it is. It's a root inhibitor that we use for the other plants, and it helps grow roots on the roots. You probably know what I'm talking about. But I do that on the roots as they go in, and the tomatoes do well. But I just think, man, I just don't feel like I'm really hitting the mark when it comes to getting the soil mix right. I wish I could had a good soil mix that I could mix in amounts and know, hey, I'm doing a good job, and put that stuff down. I got bamboo. I put it through the mulcher. Huh, I never thought of bamboo. Fatten up sheep for the farmer. He picks them and drops more off. Already shown. I fatten up sheep for the farmer. Huh. Man, you sound like you got a lot of stuff going on, man. You're a busy guy. I like that. You're a thinker, man. I can tell. Even though you're probably like me, and your mom probably dropped you on your head when you're little, so you kind of, sideways, like me. I heard bamboo grows super fast. Oh, it does. Here, you got to be careful with bamboo, because when you put it in the ground, you almost have to put it in where you contain it. My boss, he put in some bamboo up at his house, and he goes, you can't get rid of it. He goes, once it gets established, you will never get rid of it. You'll have it for the rest of your life. He said, when you do it, you want to put it in like a steel, contain the roots. He goes, because it'll just go everywhere. And man, it's hard to maintain. If you have a big piece of property, not a big deal. But if you have a lot, like I was wanting to get some of this big, they have some big bamboo that's like, it's a dark, like a brown bamboo, but it gets like 6 inches in diameter, and it'll get like 40 feet tall, and then it stops. But you really have to contain the root ball, because if you don't, you'll wish you did. You'll have that stuff growing everywhere. I was born at home. Who knows what happened? My wife's grandma, she was delivered by her dad, and all the kids, they were all Native Americans, and so she was delivered by her dad at her house. And I was always mess with her and say, Grandma, where are you from? And there's a little town where we live up in the mountains, and it's not even there no more. It's covered by the lake. It was called Hurlton. And I'd mess with her and say, there ain't no Hurlton. What are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about. I was born in Hurlton at my dad's house. My dad delivered me. And I'd say, there ain't no Hurlton. What are you talking about? And I used to always mess with her. She was funny. Jumanji bamboo. They need water. They don't get much here. Mine is about 6 feet, green on white. Yeah, like I said, they got some pretty neat bamboos. Like they got some oriental bamboos that you can get that gets big, and they get good money for them. I mean, they're like rich people buy them and stuff for their properties and stuff, and you can get good money for them. There's a guy online, and his name is he runs a channel. You will know this. You'll know this. Craft Organics. The Dude Grow shows. The Dude Grow show on YouTube. Scotty, he makes that recharge. He used to do bamboo stuff back down in Florida, man. He made a lot of money doing that. because they grew these like big, huge organic, big old huge bamboos, and people would pay big bucks for them, man. They made good money on them. But now he has a company called Recharge that all the cannabis farmers are using his product now. Really? I cut the umbilical cord on both my kids, but I didn't deliver them. But I was there. Oh, where's my girl? She's home already. What time is it? Holy shit, I'm going to be in trouble. It's 9 o'clock. She's having to open the door with the key. Anyway, hey, I kind of like this conversation about the gardening and farming a little bit. It's that's a nice thing about the lives in the mornings. We can just kind of talk about whatever. It sounds like we all have similar interests on things that we do. Anyway, it looks like it's going to be a nice day today. I'm going to get out there and wrench on that boat, see if I can make it run. Maybe I'll tear. I'm not promising it because, man, I've been saying that for a week about tearing down that 212. I haven't done it yet. It'll probably take me about 10 minutes. Why can't I get that done? I don't get it. I'll try to get it done. Hey, girl.
Hey.
How was work?
How was work?
Yeah. I'm on a live. I'm going to get off here in a minute.
Don't rush.
All right.
Enjoy.
All right. She's good. She's a good woman. She takes good care of me. And make tomato frames. You know what I started doing this year? Or actually, Betsy came up with this. Man, it worked great. We started doing our tomatoes on stakes. Instead of doing like cages and all that, we just get these like, they're pretty cheap. You can get them from Home Depot or wherever. And they're made for staking out plants, but they're just like a 5 foot or a 6 foot. It feels like cedar. And we just drive a single stake right next to the plant, and we just tie them up on that stake. And that's all we did this year with stakes. And it was quick and easy. And we got stakes for next year. I think it was a good way to go. It was great because that's one thing about tomatoes is, I mean, if you put in a 200 tomatoes, you don't want to be dealing with 200 freaking cages. You know, where do you store them? And you can run that trellis, you know, you can do like wire. How are you? Oh, you don't want to be on the camera kissing?
Yeah. No, not an old dude.
How are you?
I'm good.
So anyway, the steaks was pretty good. I really liked it. It was the first year we did the sticks, and I'm going to do it again next year. Just when the plant's small, you know, just drive this. Usually what we do is do a short bamboo next to the plant when it first goes in. Put a couple, you know, I just use that green stuff, you know, and keep it tied up. And then as the plant gets, you know, a little bit bigger, we drive a stake right next to it, a 5 foot stake. And then as the leader comes up, we just keep attaching that leader to the top. And at the end of the season, you know, they'll be taller than that. But man, it was a good way to go. It was easy. And then we just use zip ties. You know, pull them up, zip tie, done. And then they stay like that until it's time to harvest, or until they're done. And then we just go out there with a pair of wire cutters and clip the zip ties off and pull them out.
And they didn't bend over at all, which was surprising.
Yeah, they didn't bend over. Like Betsy was saying, they didn't bend over. We thought they'd get all bendy and bend over, but they didn't. But we have pretty good clay soil here. That's one of the problems I have. Hey, Craft Organics, if you're still here, that's one of the problems I have. My property has a lot of clay in it. And I'm afraid to add sand because I don't want to make it like turn into concrete. But I thought I should add a little sand maybe, but yeah, I bet the bamboo works good there, Maggie, especially if you got a good amount of it. Because bamboo is great to work with. Yep, that's it. Mycorrhiza. I use that. And you know, that stuff makes a difference, man. When I was doing the other stuff, the mycorrhiza was a game changer for me. I used to do I used to do coconut core, cocoa core, drain the waste, which is not organic, I know, but that's what I did. But mycorrhiza, using the lasagna method, you can use the landscape fabric in between, but cardboard, 1/3 compost, 1/3 yard scraps, 1/3 loam of any kind of peat, cocoa plus. And I've been kind of doing that, so I don't know. I was just thinking, I was gonna go to a place and get where I get my compost and get some, like, because they sell some soil that's really good, but it's the same thing. You don't know what they're putting in it, you know. I was thinking about, I want to get my soil rich if I can, you know. And I know it's the way to do that is to put compost, you know, every year. You know, don't wait. You got to build it up, and it gets burned up as time goes on. So you got to keep doing that. Thanks for that information. I use mycorrhiza on the plants when they go in the ground. That stuff's amazing. When I did it for other things, man, it was like a game changer. I mean, it really made a difference. Yeah, he uses Grow Dots. Yeah, he uses he has a company that they do Grow Dots and that Recharge. A lot of people are using that now. So he did make a business out of that. You know, he marketed his business through that channel hard. You inject the rhizome with diesel. Oh, really? You inject the rhizome with diesel. I didn't know that. I used to like watching their content. It's kind of fun to watch.
Battery chargers mills.
Oh, thanks, babe.
Yep.
Yeah. So our battery charger just went out in the mail. It's supposed to go out Monday. Here it is. I was dragging I had a lot going on this week, man. I wasn't sleeping well, and I have a lot of projects. And then I got another project. I can't wait to get out there on that boat, though. It looks like it's going to be a nice day today, and I'm going to go out there and wrench on that boat and see if I can get it to fire. That was a killer deal, man. I'm not kidding you. I wish I'd have got it in the spring where I could use it, because I'm going to get it done. It's going to start raining. Thing is, bananas are hard to stop once established. Really? You can't get a banana to grow here. It's like impossible. We have a long growing season. Like, man, I regret it so bad. I built a 36 by 50 hoop house on my property. Man, I love that thing. I spent like $1,500 building it, put greenhouse plastic over it, and everybody thought I was growing cannabis, but I was actually growing vegetables in there. And when I decided to sell my house, I tore it down because everybody kept saying it was an eyesore. And I cut it up and took everything to the dump. $1,200 worth of material. And every time I go in that garden, like right now, it's starting to rain. Man, when I had my hoop house, I could go out there all winter long, work in the garden, get things going, get things started. And in the fall, when the sun's coming, you know, low in the sky, towards the, you know, let's see, which way does it come from? It's shining north. It heats up that hoop house nice. You go out in that hoop house this time of year, it's like 80 degrees in there. Hoop house is so nice to have, even in California. Because the problem in California is we fight the wet. I always keep looking over there. I don't mean to do that, but my face is on the screen over there, just so you know. And I need to put this light right here. So I quit looking over there. Is that better? Yeah, so in California, the problem is it rains here a lot early in the spring. So the hoop house keeps everything from getting wet. And if you live where it gets really cold, the hoop house is really helpful because you can get your stuff in the ground when no one else can be farming because it's too wet and they're waiting for the ground to thaw. Up the back of my shed is like a salvage yard. I got plumbing pipes, bricks, tiles, sinks. You know, that's the way my back used to be. Keep it that way. I was selling my house, man. I must have took $10,000 worth of materials to the junkyard because I was trying to clean up my property, and then I didn't sell my house. And now all that stuff that I got rid of, I'm having to buy replace a little at a time. Every time I go to like somewhere to get some steel or some wood, I'm like, dang it, I took all this stuff to the dump, and here I am standing in line rebuying it again. It's annoying. I hate it when I do stuff like that and have to buy stuff over. But I was trying to get my house sold, and then it didn't happen. I mean, we took it off the market because my wife got really sick, and then I went back to work. Like right now, I'm going back to work here soon. I'm hoping I can start turning this little gig into a few dollars in my pocket, you know. I'm thinking maybe the hat merch and the stuff might work out. A lot of people have asked about it. The water from my sheet cast iron bathtub. Yeah, see, I'm like that, man. I have no problem with that kind of stuff. I've always wanted to live up in the hills out of town. That's what I've always wanted. I always wanted a timber frame cabin on like 10 acres with my property fenced off with a gate down at the bottom. That way, if you don't know me, you have no business being there. Give me a couple cane Corscos and let them run loose. Be living my best life, sitting on a porch talking to you guys, drinking coffee, going, "Hey, Ben, check it out. Grew me some tomatoes this year." All right, man, I'm going to call it a day for this morning. Get my butt moving. I got some things to get done today. I got some drip on the gutters that I got to get up and fix. I've been dragging my feet. I got to get up there and fix them. For downpour rain, I'm out there in the rain trying to fix them. Anyway, hey, thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm going to bail. Take care, Maggot. We'll see you soon, brother. Later.